What's up everyone, Crow Space Boy here, and it's time for another episode of Electric Wind God Vids. And today, believe it or not, I have a tier list for you. More specifically, I have a Sidestep tier list. So one of the things that I found incredibly beneficial as a Soul Calibur player was a breakdown of how much distance every character stepped. Now if you've been following our older videos, you may remember that TekkenGamer.com has put out a great guide detailing what direction you should step versus individual characters. But I haven't been able to find any sort of resource detailing how good each individual character's step is, and since there is a difference between different characters' step, I figured I would take the opportunity to do it myself. I mean, I work for a fighting game website and I make videos, so I really should be doing stuff like this. So let's just jump in, start listing characters, and explain why we've put each character within the tiers that they are in. I'm going to start with the S tier step. Step tier? That's terrible, I'm sorry. Every character in this tier was able to step in between the gap of Leo's back 1-4 string. I would like to note that it is possible that there are some characters within this tier that have steps that cover more distance better than others, but I have not been able to find a situation where that has mattered. So this is by far the biggest tier that I have. If there is a way to further break up this tier, I am all ears waiting for an example, because I have not been able to really find a practical one. Next up, we have the A tier and its lone occupant, Nina. The reason why Nina is separate from the S tier is that she's not able to step Leo's back 1-4 except at its very furthest range, so that makes her worse than all the characters above her, but the tests that we're doing after this make her better than all the characters below her because she's able to slightly step Leo back 1-4 at this one particular range. So she exists in this awkward middle ground. Sorry, Nina. Next is the B plus tier, and I feel like this is the first real gap we've had in between tiers. Everyone in this tier was able to step in between the first and second hit of Chloe's California roll to both sides. That is the thing that separates this tier and the B minus tier below them. The people in the B minus tier are only able to step in one direction. Eddie has a note here. And the reason why Eddie has a note is because he is only able to step this move depending upon what part of his idle animation that he's in, and I am really sorry for Eddie players that have to deal with this. Also worth noting that this applies to Chloe's 1-2-1 string. That string was pretty irrelevant for most of my testing purposes, but I'm using it to separate Eddie and a few other characters in the B minus tier. Speaking of B minus, here they are. These are the characters with the worst step in the game. I have notes on Akuma and Alyssa, and here's why. So the thing that unifies all these characters is that they cannot step Chloe's California roll to the left. They can only step it to the right, and that separates them from everyone else in the game. There is, however, something worth noting. For whatever reason, Akuma can step it to both sides, but he cannot step Chloe's 1-2-1, which everyone else in this tier can, except for Alyssa. So Alyssa has, without a doubt, the worst step in the game. She cannot step 1-2-1, nor can she step the California roll to both sides. Now that we've covered all this, I want to point out that this is just talking about sidestep and not sidewalking. Some of these characters actually have better sidewalking than sidesteps, and we're going to make a separate list and study session for sidewalking in our next video. I hope this is useful to you. I hope this gives you an idea of who you can abuse certain moves versus basically everyone in the B tier. I will see you guys next time. See you later.